Here's a game to play on your next long car trip. Look for number plates on approaching cars, either through the front window or the rear window. And as soon as you can see the prefix, the letters that come before the numbers, the game begins. The idea is to turn those letters into a word, and the person who comes up with the shortest word wins the game. Ready to start? Everyone can play this game except the driver. Let's look at some cars. Now, it's a little hard to read the number plates yet, but they're stopping now, and there's one there, Mum's 40. Well, that's a word already, isn't it? Mum's 40. It's a sentence that tells us something about Mum, perhaps. There's another rule that we can add to the game, and that is, if the prefix spells a word already, you must add something to it to make it at least a little bit longer. How can we add something to make mums into another word? Well, you might be thinking of the maximum temperatures for last week, and you talk about the maximums, or the minimums for that matter. Those two words are the same length, so if two people come up with those two answers, it's a dead heat. Here's the next one. U-R-K, aha, you might say turkey. Not a bad answer. You've added just 3 letters, but if somebody else in the car says Turk, that's a shorter word, that person's the winner. S-N-U, we could turn that into snout, the nose of an animal, but if somebody else says snub, adding only 1 letter, that's a better answer, that wins. Now male, that's a word already, we must add something to it. What about an F-E in the front of it making female? Good answer, but males plural is a better answer because we added only 1 letter, that wins. U-R-Y, that's easy, isn't it? You could turn it into berry or fury, both very short words. Once again, a dead heat. Sometimes you'll find it so difficult to come up with a word that you might have to go to a phrase or a sentence. For example, in this one, I can't think of a word, but I could think of a little phrase, under green yacht. If you come up with a shorter sentence or with a word, you beat me. And here's another one where I'll have to go for a sentence or a phrase, TPSO. What about the pig said oink? Once again, you can beat me with a shorter phrase or sentence or with a word if you're clever enough. Now, what does this one say? NJA. This is all getting too difficult for me. In fact, I'll leave it to you to work out an answer to that one.